I melted in excitement,
dude.
I mean, that was the crazy thing too, is that everybody was just thinking you were gonna get like a couple of shots, some music, some like voiceovers, 30-second to a minute thing. No, we got like a full blown trailer,
2.5 minutes
with 25% of the film shot.
yeah.
That's the thing that blows my mind, is that you can create that much hype and establish a direction they're going with just within 25% of the movie, which I think is awesome. I mean, again, it could have just lucked out, or maybe that was how they planned their shooting, was to like, half the movie they were going to start marketing it, whatever. I don't know. But that just excited me, and I'm like, wow, like you still have
75%.
You have 75% of the movie left to see, and you're like, oh my goodness. It was absolutely incredible.
Well, that was the thing. Like, we didn't see the meat and potatoes of the movie, so I was just blown away, especially just from that little tidbit of Pattinson going absolutely apeshit on that thug. You know what I mean? And I think that shot right there kind of reassured everybody that he's going to do a good job in this role. But before they dropped the trailer, Matt Reeves had a little panel beforehand, and I like what he had to say. He's pretty much taking this at a different angle, because we've seen so many iterations of Batman's origins and how he's grown up without his parents, having Alfred take care of him, kind of thing. This is a kind of a new direction, or a new window we're seeing into Bruce Wayne's life. It's very early in his stages of being the Batman, and I'm really digging it, And the reason why I'm liking this is because, God fucking damn it. The reason why I'm liking this is because it's going to show a more vulnerable Batman.
Right.
He's new.
He's young.
He's young. He's still feeling the waters. I think mistakes are going to be made.
Right.
And I think there's going to be major consequences for those mistakes. And I think we're going to see a more vulnerable side of the character, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing is, too, is like, from the trailer, I got David Fincher mystery, where it's this really dark thriller. It's like a noir. And
yeah, that's a good way to say it, noir.
And it's a mystery movie, and I absolutely love those types of movies, like that genre. And the fact that you can incorporate, Batman, a superhero, but ground him to a level where he's actually believable. Yeah. That's the thing that stands out. And, The Dark Knight was the closest we got to a grounded superhero comic book adaptation,
and it was so well received too.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
But you can also think about that too, where if you compare the Dark Knight, or just the Dark Knight trilogy, compared to what we think the Batman, Robert Pattinson Batman, is going to be, it's the Dark Knight trilogy. The scale was 10 times bigger than what I think the Batman is trying to do. Not necessarily like if you look at the money, like the budget, I don't think that, like, I'm not talking about that.
Right.
It's just like the world within the story. Like, I think the Batman is just going to be really, really personal, with the audience and with the characters.
Now that we're seeing a more vulnerable side of the character, I think that's going to play into the scale of the film, because in the Nolan films, we have a Batman who's already established in a world. He's seen a lot, he's done a lot. And this one, like I said, he's a younger version of the Batman. So you're gonna get more, murder crime scenes, back alley fights, rooftop fights. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be so blown up and out of proportion kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's going to be very tight knit.
It's not a superhero movie, which I'm getting out of it, which I absolutely love.
Right. It's definitely it's a new angle.
It's really diving down to what Batman the character is, and what he was from the comics was the world's greatest detective.
Yes.
And that's what I'm very curious to see, is how he goes about these investigations, using his brain, not necessarily just for like the tech and the Batmobile and everything. Like, obviously they have Batmobile and it looks fucking badass.
Yeah, it does. It looks cool.
In the trailer too, you get that one like 5-second clip
it's a POV
that Nick was saying. The
POV of him walking down the hallway.
Yeah. So I mean, it's every time you see the Gotham Police Department and the Batman. Yeah. It's really interesting to see, that first shot we get where it's like the POV shot of him going through the hallway, the cops giving him the dirty looks and everything. And it seems that the only person that really believes in him and trusts his word
Is Gordon.
Yeah. And that's really interesting. And then there's, within the trailer, there's that little taste that they give us where like he's literally
Fighting
in this
off.
like mob of the Gotham police.
Has to be like 20 or 30 cops.
That's just going to be so interesting to see.
Yep.
Because it's like, no one in this world is treating him or respecting him the way he should. So it already seems like he's still in the early the early
stages.
process, the early stages of it. And I think he just has to. It's at a point where that gives a little bit more vulnerability to Batman too.
Right. Well, here's the thing too. So it's good. I'm glad you brought that up because I kind of have a bit of a theory about it. So he's getting dirty looks from the GCPD. He only has a relationship with Gordon. I don't think Gordon's commissioner yet in this film. So my theory is that there's a lot of corruption within the Gotham City Police Department. And he's obviously doing way more than a regular cop would to clean up the streets. So if, let's say, the cops are on a villain's payroll, they're not going to like the Batman.
Right.
Because he's coming in and he's going to fuck up their pay. So I think there's going to be a lot of corruption within the Gotham City Police Department.
So like the Batman's kind of hunting down, like sniffing out who the rats
trying to
are.
get the rats and things like that. I think that's going to add kind of a really cool dynamic and how he's going to kind of rid the corruption, get Gordon in as commissioner, and that's how he's going to build a better relationship with the police department.
That'd be awesome.
So I think that's like my theory, and I was thinking about it too after I watched the trailer probably about 12 times.
Yeah.
And after the 12th time, I was like,
I've watched it more than that already.
Yeah. I'm like, so maybe there's corruption, and that's why they really don't like him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you're a cop and someone comes in and he's cleaning up the streets and he's fighting for peace and justice, why would you hate him?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Well, I hope they kind of, touch on not necessarily like the upfront crime.
Yeah.
If they can kind of dive into the nitty gritty behind like the reasons. Like I hope we just see the Batman kind of justify like what is happening in Gotham City as to why he turned in. Because it's supposed to be like year 2 of him being the Batman.
Yeah.
So it might be interesting too to see how just to give a little reason why he's diving in and taking that risk to go, and you're literally going against the city and the police department.
Right. Yeah. All the odds are against you.
That's just crazy too to think. Like even like in the trailer again, where there's just the shots of him going to his bat cave, like he just feels so alone.
Yeah.
Like so secluded.
Yeah.
That's the thing that like it's just gonna be so interesting.
Yeah.
Vulnerability and yeah.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Now, when we're talking about this world, right? Obviously, we got a little glimpse at some of the new characters.
Right.
Well, not new characters, familiar characters, but different styles on the characters. So we got to look at the Riddler. We got to look at Catwoman, and we got a sneak peek at Penguin.
Yeah, Colin Farrell. No one even noticed. I picked it out though.
You did pick it out.
It was the first time we watched it because they show him like 3 times. And I'm like, that's got to be Colin Farrell because we knew it was the Penguin.
Right.
And I didn't see Colin Farrell. And yeah, he's in it. It's absolutely crazy. The prosthetics that they gave him.
Right. And so I'd say that's the one thing for his prosthetics. They're fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And that just shows how much is going into this film. But we didn't get to see too much of his character.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure he's still in the early stages. He's probably not the Penguin yet.
Right.
Or maybe he is. I don't know. I'm just what I'm getting from the trailer. I don't think he's the Penguin yet. But yeah, so his prosthetics are out of this world. Then we look at Catwoman, who's played by
Zoe Kravitz.
And she seems like Catwoman's in a very early stage as well.
Right.
She doesn't have the full suit with the ears yet. She's kind of like masked as like a burglar.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm very interested to see how her character is going to play into the story and how Catwoman and the Batman are going to mesh.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited to see the early stages of that character as well.
I am too, because it's, when you have a lot of these heavy characters, known characters within the Batman, whatever.
Batman-verse.
Right. Yeah. through the comics, video games, whatever. There's so many different takes on how these characters integrate with each other, how they gel together. Like, there's some times where, Catwoman will be completely on the other side of Batman. But then in Dark Knight Rises, we get that a little bit.
Yeah.
But then she teams up at the end, you know.
Yeah.
And then the Penguin, obviously, he's always been a villain, but maybe we get him and he teams up with Batman. Like, that's the thing that's like really interesting about it.
Yeah.
That we just really don't know how they're gonna go about it, you know.
Yeah, and like you've seen, like just from the comics, film, like games, like you said, when the relationship between Batman and Catwoman has gone in so many different directions. They've been adversaries against one another.
Right.
They've loved one another and they've worked together with one another.
Right.
So I'm very interested to see what this Catwoman's going to be to this Batman. Yeah. You know, are they going to be foes? Are they going to be friends? Or are they going to fuck?
We're definitely leaving that in there.
So,
did you write that line?
No, I did not.
That's good.
So, you know, I'm like I said, excited to see what that character is going to be like. But the Riddler, played by Paul Dano,
fucking
creepy.
Yes,
very creepy.
I love him though. Everything he's in.
Yeah,
he's not in much. Not a lot of people know him.
Right.
But when you do see him, he sticks out.
Yeah. And we get the first shot of him in the beginning of the trailer, and he's all duct taped up.
Yeah.
He's got those weird glasses on. It looks like very eccentric, very weird, but also it seems like what he's doing is very planned out,
right,
carefully.
Right.
So I'm very excited for him.
Yeah.
Very excited.
It's like a Zodiac vibe.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
That's why I just keep thinking David Fincher. It's all of his movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just like chasing, it's like a cat and mouse type of thing where, or Seven with Kevin Spacey. You know what I mean? Something like that where you feel that the Riddler is just gonna be playing with him the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's gonna be awesome, dude. I'm probably like out of all the characters that they're giving a redirection, I'm probably most excited about him, because we haven't really seen the Riddler recently
since Jim Carrey,
since Batman Forever, and we know how that went. You know, that movie was made just to sell toys.
Was it?
It was made to sell like merchandise and shit.
Oh my god.
You know, and we had the bat suit with nipples on it. So that's what we get. So that was the last time we saw the Riddler. So I think it was very smart on their part to bring in that character, because it's forgotten about.
Yeah.
So to see this
again, you have the Riddler going down, where it's this mystery thriller,
right,
where he's hunting down, and you know, it's just I don't know. It was a great choice for a villain. Definitely for the grounds that they're trying to break with this type of world too.
And I think you're going to establish that character even better than what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, you're probably just going to reestablish it completely. You know what I mean? He's going to set the bar for what the Riddler should be.
Right.
So, excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Are they going to fuck too, or?
No. I fucking hope not.